Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trading Room. I'm Shane Vernier, and this is going to be the week ahead. Today, we're going to go ahead and look at a few of the biggest opportunities that we're going to have this week. I think that right now it's definitely looking like a risk-off type of environment. We're seeing big-time selling. We had a key level in the U.S. 100 get blown out, as Mark Corp just said. The gold spot market is incredibly lively. I mean, we heard a market call saying, calling for 3,100 a while back, and that right there, I mean, we've already hit 3,100. Where's the top of this thing? 32.50, 35, 4. No one knows. No one knows right now. So I'm absolutely fascinated. I'm watching the VIX very closely for signs of any sort of institutional participation. Right now, it looks to me like they're piling into the VIX, and also the front month premiums of the S&P 500 options are absolutely all over the board. Just by what I'm looking at right now, I can tell you that. This thing's developing just the way we said it was. We knew that we were in for some big-time bearish pressure. We knew that the tariff question, the April 1st, April 2nd tariffs were going to be a huge deal, and that's exactly what's happening here today. So I'm definitely interested. I'm welcoming everyone to the room. I think that we're going to have an interesting trading week. It's going to be a bit of a short trading week for me. I'm going to be out of the office. We're going to go ahead and do a live stream Wednesday. But after that, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a holiday, much needed holiday at this point. If you're a trader, then you know what I mean. You typically, if you go a few months, 2 or 3 months, and have an opportunity maybe to take a break for a week, I highly recommend it unless you're winning. If you're winning and you're killing it and you're feeling the game, then you never, ever stop trading when you're winning. For me, it's been an interesting year. It's been a pretty good year so far. A lot of positives. But as far as the fatigue goes, I know when I need to take a break, so it's time to take a break, and I'm going to go ahead and head down to the beach in Florida and kick it there for about 10 days or so. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. So this week's live stream schedule is going to be a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and go today, and then we're going to go ahead and go Wednesday. After that, I'm going to be out probably for a week and a half or so. But I will be back, and I'll have everything scheduled for you Wednesday, so don't worry about it. We'll also have some new stuff dropping on YouTube, so there's a lot of new content that's going to be hitting the wires, and I'll probably be on X too. So when I'm gone, you can check out the X account and see, maybe I don't like to trade when I'm on vacation. Never. I don't like to do it because it's just a stressful thing, but there's a couple of trades that we need to be aware of. That's for darn sure. A lot going on, guys, and this is what it's all about. It's about the VIX. The VIX right now is absolutely spiked. We're up about 15%. There's a couple of reasons for that. I'm going to go over those. But what you see is a major move in the VIX, and that means that we're going risk off. And essentially what that entails is it means that things like gold, safe havens are going to rally, and then you've got something like stocks and any sort of risk assets are going to go down. I mean, just looking at our big board over here, I'm watching Bitcoin closely. I still think Bitcoin's going to get a big pop up to about 125,000, but it's not developing. I mean, right now we're at 82, and the risk is coming off the board. Those of you that have followed me for quite some time remember that I was long Shiba Inu, and I had a lot on it. I was long, and I ended up taking some money out of this market, and it was one of those things that essentially I got out right back in there when we had the big banking crisis. I don't know if anybody remembers the crypto banks. Maybe it was right here. I don't know. I didn't. I wasn't in there for that one. Right here though, I got out right in there. But it was a pretty good trade for me because I bought down around where we're at now. I bought down in here, and I had an opportunity. I don't know what's wrong with this chart, but I did actually have a chance to buy pretty much right there. So I sat for a long time, and I was trying to figure out, what do you do with a crypto move? What do you do with a crypto play? Is it an investment? Is it something that you want to do? It's something you want to commit to? For me, I watched this crypto go up and down, and I bought in right around where it is now, about right around 12. So I got out. I sold 15s, so I did pretty well on the trade. But right here, I wasn't in it for that, and that was one of those things that I really was confident that we were going to see the big roll. And I know it doesn't look like much, but right there you're printing 45, and I'm truncating and rounding the actual prices, but. When you're buying 12s and you turn around and have the opportunity to sell at 45s, you have a real chance to roll your money over 4 times, fourfold. And that was really what I was looking to do here with Shiba. It never developed for me. I ended up taking probably about 30 or 40% on the trade, which wasn't good enough because I let it lay there for quite some time. But this right here has me interested again. Now, my basic premise for buying Shiba or trading Shiba, this is the week ahead. This is what we're talking about, opportunity. My entire reasoning for buying Shiba Inu was to try to get rich. It's what every one of you are trying to do. I was trying to get rich. What I wanted to do is I wanted to say, okay, how much money do I have to put in to become a multimillionaire if, in fact, Shiba goes to a penny, a cent? And a lot of you that are professional crypto traders are laughing your tails off right now. You're like, how can you be, Shane, you're a trader. You've been a pro for a long time now. How can you even think like that? And quite frankly, it's called a roulette chip or a lottery ticket. I liked Shiba. I liked Shiba's affiliation with Dogecoin, and I liked Dogecoin's affiliation with X. And I thought that it was a pretty darn good play. And so what we're seeing here, Dogecoin's down again big today, down about 1%. But this Shiba coin's starting to come into an area where I'm considering taking a shot again. I like Shiba. I like it for a lot of reasons. Number one, I like its affiliation with Doge. It is a meme coin. There's no two ways about it. But the way that X is growing right now, Elon Musk's X, there's going to need to be a mode of transaction there. Sure, it's a social media platform. Sure, you pay money to be premium, and we're on X, Shane V Trader, and also How to Trade. We have an X account there, How to Trade. Check those X accounts out if you haven't. A lot of trade ideas, a lot of stuff that you get here in the trading room, a lot of stuff you don't get anywhere else. But big picture, what is X for? It's going to be a social media platform for sure, okay? We know that. But what else could it be? It could be a mode of transaction. And when we start talking about tipping, and there's other platforms I can't really talk about here because they're not necessarily safe for work, but a lot of people make a lot of money getting tips online for their accounts. Well, your X, I believe X is going to evolve into the same type of thing. You're going to say, hey, tip the creator tips, yada, yada, yada. And I think Shiba could be one of those cryptocurrencies that's used because there's so many in circulation. I don't think it's ever going to be Bitcoin. You're not going to be tipping people in Bitcoin. Maybe Doge. Maybe Ethereum. Ethereum's down to $1,800. That was up at $35. We're in an interesting situation here because we have an administration in the White House that's awfully receptive to crypto, and they're going to deregulate. And right now, I'm looking at Shiba, and I'm looking at my chart, and I'm saying, is it time to get back in? And to me, it feels like, yeah. It feels like that we're going to trade right down in here, right around 8 or 9. Right now, Shiba's sort of consolidating around 12. 12's been a huge level for Shiba Inu. This right down in here, this value area, yeah, it may be time to snap up some Shiba. So this week, I'm looking at Shiba closely. If we trade underneath 10, which I think we might do, if we trade underneath 10, probably going to take a shot down there at 9 or 8, probably scale in. I would love to dollar cost average in and see if I can get long a big position between 10 and 7. I would love to cost average in that because I would take a shot. We've seen what can happen with this crypto. We've seen what can happen. The upward trajectory, the bidders, they're there. They're just not there right now. And a lot of you are laughing. A lot of crypto pros out there are laughing at me. Believe me, I know trading. And this right in here, I love these tight months. I love this consolidation area. This area right here makes me feel happy. And if we get down there, it might be time to shoot the moon. Well, it looks like we're having trouble again on our live chat on our YouTube channel. So if you're trying to chat or ask me a question, I definitely want to apologize, I guess. It doesn't look like we're live on YouTube. Unbelievable. I've had more struggles with this channel than I can even say. So if we're live out there, great. If we're not, that's too bad. That's definitely too bad. Yeah, doesn't look like we're live out there. Unreal. Well, come to howtotrade.com. You get all these live streams for free, and they're pretty regular. We do them every day. Shiba, put a pin in it. Shiba. All right. In any case, gold. Mark Corp said it a little bit earlier. The gold's a big deal. This is an absolute explosion up. We're up about another %. And we're up around rocking and rolling right around 3,100, 3,115. At this point, nobody knows how high this is going. Nobody knows. You can see right in here, we were looking at that 3,000 area, a little bit of compression. It just has not developed. And What happens in a market like this that's trending is people get in front of the trend. Now, we were very, very, I would say, succinct. We were very direct in what I thought was going to happen here. 3,000. We talked about scalping in front of 3,000. We did it. But this compression right here should scare everybody. This right in here between 3,000 and 3,050. Compression. Bam. Huge hot rally. Okay, right down in here. Bang. And that was our trade, essentially. We sold right in front of 3,000. Bang, bang. We got our scalp, and then we start getting compressed. And this is definitely something that I would be very, very concerned about. There's no way that you can hold shorts right now. You don't want to hold shorts. You don't want to sell. You want to buy. We're going to make our mistakes to the long side of the market. And if we can do that, if we can be consistent with our decision-making and have, that means that we can put our money in a position to help us as opposed to hurting us. Now, the name of this stream is The Week Ahead. And gold is in play. It's got to be in play. A couple of things that I would line up for you and I would show you. The biggest thing is this. You don't want to be a hero. You don't want to try to pick tops. There's a lot of people that are trying to pick tops of the gold market. Don't do it. You're going to get eaten up. Remember, the market can stay irrational a lot longer than you can stay liquid. And this thing right here, you're up around 31.29, something like that. I mean, any pullback we can get right now, 3,080. Yeah, we're going to show up with guns blazing, and we're going to take that long and go ahead and see if we can get something done there. Now, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that's taking shorts right now, I question your aptitude as a trader unless you're scalping. Now, listen, if you're scalping, that's something different. That's a tight stop loss. You're looking for a short retracement. You can get in there and get after that. That's fantastic. I have no problem with trying to grab a few ticks on a pullback because the market doesn't go in straight lines. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. We'll pull some short time frames here in a second. So if you're scalping, let's say you sold 31.25s. Okay, you just made $10. The problem with that trade is this. If you don't have a hard stop out point, you're in big trouble. And I've made those trades. I've sat there and I've said, okay, I love this market. It's volatile. Basically, all we got to do is be good with our trade locations and we're going to get paid off. It doesn't matter if I buy or sell. So if I sell right up here, right around 25, I'd say, okay, I sold 24.50s. Where am I going to stop myself out at? Are you going to be disciplined enough to stop yourself out at 25.75? Or are you going to let it bleed against you a little bit more and a little bit more, thinking that eventually you are going to come back? Now, you're right. If you take that short, you're absolutely correct. You're going to get a pullback. You're going to get paid. The problem is this thing rocked up to 31.30, 31.29, 31.30. Where would your confidence be holding shorts from 31.24.50 and the market's rocking up to 31.30? My point is this. It doesn't matter if it stops at 31.30 or 31.50. There's nothing there. That's a void. It's looking into the abyss. There's nothing up there. There's nothing to hang your hat on. So if you're going to take a naked trade, I call it naked. If you take it naked, 31.24s, 31.24.50, stop yourself out over 31.25. I say that it's doable, but you've got to have the discipline to stop yourself out there, and you also can't blame yourself if you get stopped out before the big reversal. Bottom line is this: the 31.25 sells were great. You're $10 in the green, which is a hell of a lot of money on a gold market. I mean, that's one of those. You make 3 or 4 of those trades a year, and you're done. What do we do now? You buy it. Daily chart, clearly that's the retracement level. Let's go to a 4-hour. We already missed it. Doesn't seem like, no matter how early or late I get on these live streams, we're always missing something, right? That's the markets. That's the way it works. This right here. 4-hour pullback. Bang, bang. Pullback right there. That's essentially the U.S. session, the early U.S. session. You came off, the 38% buys were absolutely money, but look at this low. And I've got caught up in these trades where you're sitting there going, when's the selling going to stop? When are we going to rally? I mean, I've been in those. One of the biggest losses I've taken this year was on one of those. It was an intraday trade. I took about a $2,000 loss. And I sat there and I said, Well, I mean, we got a great level, and I held and I held and I held, and I said, I know this thing's going higher, and it did, but I finally had to rip the Band-Aid off and go, man, that got expensive. Gold's no joke. Gold futures, buckle up if you're trading gold futures. Even spot gold's really crazy. The spreads, I don't like it. I absolutely can't stand the spreads in spot gold, but a lot of you trade it profitably, and more power to you. This 4-hour chart right here is probably what would be my bread and butter, at least for the next 48 hours. I love that. 3104, I'm buying. I'm a bidder there. I'm a bidder at 38%. I'm a bidder there at 30.90. As far as a seller, I have no interest in selling this thing. None. We'll cover a market that we need to sell here in just a second. I'm not selling gold. I'm not even remotely interested. Love the 4-hour chart for gold. Why? It's a true 24-hour commodity. We'll have an opportunity to trade this. We know that. Let me see. We got Mark Corp. Should we be scalping just under your quarter handle, 32.50? Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question, Mark. Absolutely. No, I would be scalping to the short. I think that but listen. I can't stress this enough. If you're gonna buck this trend, you need to be aggressive, but you also have to be, smart and understand that there's no limit to how high this thing can go. I will not try to pick a top of the gold market. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to show you a couple reasons why right now that gold's rocking and rolling. But a couple of things I don't like. I'll just be right out there, Mark. You're absolutely right. Should we be scalping under the quarter handle? Absolutely. You should be selling probably 32, 48, 50s and just look for that pullback. 100%. What I don't like, and this is something that I've heard a lot lately, and a lot of people are gold bugs. They love gold no matter what. Economy's up, economy's down. They love gold. They love silver. Most of them are gold and silver brokers. Are trying to sell you product. For me, I cannot stand when I see a gold bug, and I've seen a lot of them lately, spiking the football. Issue and I told you so is going, we told you. We told you gold was going to explode. We told you. And I go, you didn't tell me anything. Those same guys that are spiking the football, ladies and gentlemen, that are spiking the football right now saying, oh, yeah, we called the gold rally. They were calling that in 2010. The same people. So anytime I see a big idiot on TV, and there's a lot of them, and they come through and they go, gold, we told you, gold. And I go, well, let's say I bought gold back then. It was like 1,300, somewhere in there, in the last financial crisis. They say, oh, gold's going to 3,000. I go, yeah, but I mean, it was 15 years ago. You're not right. If it took 15 years, oh, what a return. Was it really? I doubled my money in 15 years. If we trade these futures and derivatives correctly, we should be looking to double our money every couple of weeks. I mean, this is not, I cannot stand that. And there is a lot of those guys out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know who you are, and a lot of you tune in and you listen to small streams like this to get ideas. And I'm telling you right now that you guys, anybody that bought back in 2010 and just is now cashing out at 3,100 and thinks that they did something, man, unless you had a couple $1,000,000 in there, you didn't do anything. You wrote it. Well, great. Nice job. Be careful with that stuff. There's a lot of hoodoos out there. They say, oh, yeah. Oh, no. Warren Buffett's another great one. He's a multi-billionaire. Okay, that's fantastic. But think about what he really did. He bought and he held. He held it. He bought and he held. When did he buy and hold? In probably the greatest equities boom in human history from 1950 to 2000. Really. I mean, you could not, if you bought and hold, you could not mess that up. So a lot of times we say somebody's a genius or somebody's a really great trader, and they would basically look at me and say, Shane, you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I want everybody to get in and get their money and do the best you can and prosper. I really do. And I mean that. But what I also don't do is I don't sit around and pretend somebody's a genius when they're not. Timing's everything in this world, and it's not just about timing minute to minute. It's not trying to time this gold trade just perfect. It's timing life. Bill Gates is another great one. Lauded as a genius, an absolute genius, right? If you look at when Bill Gates was coming up, he had access to cutting edge technology For his parents in the Seattle area, he had the ability to work on personal computers when no one else did. He had a huge advantage. Check out Malcolm Gladwell's. It's 10,000 Hours. I can't remember the name of the book, but it was a pretty good book about expertise and showing that there clearly there's brilliance out there, but also the timing of things and the way that the chips fall. That's big. That's a big deal, and I don't want anybody out there to think anybody's a genius. I want you guys to get in there and think on your own. Think for yourself. Think about, how am I going to attack this gold market? You don't need to try to be Elon Musk. You don't need to try to be these people. You don't need to try to be Buffett. You don't need to be Larry Fink. You don't need to do any of that. Jamie Dimon. Those people are rock stars. Let them go do their thing. But today, this week, take your money out of this market. Make it work for you. There's nothing that says you can't be a great trader. Last thing I'm going to say about it, sis, I sort of got off on a rant there, but the last thing I'm going to say about trading. Everybody out there, you guys go online and you see the videos. I've done it too. I make videos. We put a bunch of strategy videos out there to try to help you guys think. Everybody, I want you thinking. And I'm telling you, this is sort of a personal stream for me, because the week ahead, it can be anything you want it to be. But I want you thinking. I want you to think about different ways to trade and how exactly you can get involved in the markets on your terms. Now, every piece of literature you read, whether it's a paper, scholarly journal, all of it, pretty much the washout rate for active traders is 95%. It's 95%. That's what they say. They say 95% of all traders will fail. And I go, well, what's fail? I'm going to tell you straight up, there are a lot of traders out there that do very well, and they're not on YouTube, and they don't say anything. They show up, they take their money, and they leave. And the way that they can do that is they have a decent strategy. Of course, that's part of it. You have to have some way to trade. But beyond strategy, it's about just being really tough mentally and understanding that if you take your time, if you don't rush in and take absolutely huge risks trying to meet profit targets that you're never going to meet, if you're conservative, if you just say, okay, think about this for a minute. If you show up, and I've done this is why I'm still around. You show up, you hit a few scalps in the morning in the futures. You're in the market for probably an aggregate of 3 minutes, yet you're up $300 or $400. You take that money and you put it in your pocket. You're not gonna wind up. You're not gonna get famous doing that. You're not gonna be. You're not gonna be on CNBC, and you're not gonna be the next greatest trader or whatever that is. But you're gonna be able to pay your bills, and you're gonna have money coming in, cash flow, and I call it being a truly free person. You're gonna be free. You have your own money coming in. The markets are spinning all the time. And you don't need to be Jamie Dimon to take a little bit of money out of there. And the last thing I'm going to say is this: the markets aren't against you. They're not against anybody. But if you go in there and your head's not screwed on straight, you're in big trouble, because the markets will take everything from you. They don't care. They don't care if you make a ton, and they don't care if you lose a ton. Remember that. They're always running. It's a way to make money. The way that I was taught, you should see the screen as an ATM. Reach in and take out the money. It's not about building empires. It's not about being the next Vanderbilt. It isn't. It's about being able to make a living, take the money out. And believe me, they say 95% can't make it. Well, 95% do some things that are really poor. But if you have the right goals and you have decent resources, you have a chance to reach in and pull the money out. It can make your life a lot better. But if you're crazy with the risk management, can make it a lot worse. So that's pretty much my pep talk for today. Wasn't very good, but if I can do it, everybody out there can do it. I'm not a brilliant person. Believe me, I got pretty good grades. I was a pretty good athlete, but there's nothing special about me. I'm not Elon Musk. But what I can do is I can read a market, and I know exactly what I want to get accomplished at a given time. And if you guys stick with it long enough, eventually you're going to develop into that where you say, you show up and you just go, okay, I want to hit it here, here, here. And, okay, bang, bang, bang. That's my game plan. You'll know it. You'll know it like the back of your hand. And I don't know. I wouldn't really trade it for anything, to be honest with you. I don't know how to do much else. Build houses. I did that for a lot of years. Took risks that I didn't even understand I was taking. This right here, we talked a lot about this. We talked a lot about this US 100 market. It's crashing. It's absolutely crashing. We talked about the 19 level being absolutely huge. That level's gone. This is, I'm bearish. I'm bearish. Sell, sell, sell. I mean, if you wanted to sell at market right now, you probably could get away with it. The problem is you're going to get a retracement. We'll have a positive day this week, but right now you have a lot of things happening that are driving people away from risk. Mark Horp, we're paid to wait, and you're a great coach. Oh, I don't know, Mark. But thank you. I appreciate it. And kind words, definitely kind words. A lot of you, especially, Mark, you're one of them. You guys show up every day, and that's what it's all about, is showing up every day and being ready to trade. And a lot of folks show up for a week or two, and they lose a bunch of money and they leave. I want everybody to go slow. Trade small. Trade demo. Go slow. Go slow. There's going to come a time when you will be trading the 4 and 5 lots of E-mini S&Ps, and the money will be on the line, and it changes things. As the stakes goes up, it changes things. But start small. Don't lose all your money. I've heard some absolute horror stories. Some horror stories about folks losing lots of money. And I don't want anybody to lose a bunch. Keep it small. Stay within your means. And when the time's right, when you build that account up and the time's right, then you pour the coal to it. Then you go get it. Then you chase your dreams. And timing's everything. Ask Bill Gates. His parents had security clearance. He had access to computers before anybody else did. What do you think? He was just sitting in his room and he built a computer out of out of scotch tape and magnets? No. He had an advantage. You have an advantage. None of this stuff was available when I was coming up. There was no online trading, not like it is now. You can get an account. You can get everything up and running. You can get computers, accounts, everything. You can be a part of this financial world. And the barriers to entry are very, very low. When I was coming up, like when I was in high school, I was trying to figure out how I was going to scrape together $50,000 because that was the buy-in. That was what it was to have a brokerage account. And then we saw the evolution of Scott trade with $7 trades, and then you could have smaller traders in there. Now it's completely catered to retail. So you have an opportunity. That wasn't around. Hey, listen, in the 1980s and 90s, this didn't exist. The screens weren't there. It was tough. You had to get a broker. The broker had to have a seat at the exchange. You had to call in your orders. This didn't exist. This right here is amazing. We can be participants. If I want to, I could spend a couple $100,000 in the market today if I wanted to. It's an incredible time to be a trader. I mean, it really is. Your opportunities are fantastic. This right here, this is going to keep going down, and we're going to bottom out probably down around 18.3. There's a lot of reasons for it. This is one of them. Nobody's talking about this. This is one of the biggest escalations in the Russia-Ukraine war that we've seen. One of Putin's limos blew up. It clearly was a hit. They tried to put a hit on him. That is going to bring some repercussions. Russia's going to retaliate. Essentially, what we're seeing is there's people that don't want to see peace in the region. That's a war escalation. We also saw the UK and France put boots on the ground in the Ukraine. This is ugly. This is a major war escalation. Don't necessarily know where it goes, but I can tell you that this is definitely part of what's driving the markets down. Most folks are going to tell you that it's this tariff rollout. They believe that tariff uncertainty is the reason behind this. That's not true. We are cratering. These markets are cratering. And the reason why they're cratering is there's a lot of uncertainty, sure, but it's World War III type of stuff. The tariffs, we pretty much know what we're going to get out of the tariffs now. They're a negotiation tool. No question about it. Trump's going to roll some out. He's going to hold some back. That's how he does business. It's just the way it is. So, Don't get carried away. Look at this. Marine Le Pen. Le Pen was a power player in France. Some of you are in France. That's a big story right there. You're starting to see the World War III stuff get rolled out in a big, big way. How does that tie into the global economy? Goldman Sachs hikes probability of U.S. recession. Do the math. It means we're coming off, and we're coming off big. Big time spike. Le Pen, they're not going to let Le Pen run. They know Le Pen could win. Yeah. 30-minute chart right here, US 100 right there, opening bell. Ding, ding, nice chop. If, in fact, you're interested. I mean, we can get rid of all that nonsense. We had a couple pretty good orbs last week. Opening bell, ding, ding. There's your 30-minute orb. That's an extremely attractive sell down there. Extremely attractive. We'll wait and see how this develops. But there's your orb. I don't particularly care for the buy. Essentially, if you were going to play a breakout, remember, in that orb video, that opening range breakout, you're looking to really roll towards key levels, previous days highs and lows and things like that. You're not going to get that today. Why? Because there are no previous days highs and lows. We are trending. We are trending. And to play a breakout with the trend is probably not a bad idea. So I'm watching this closely, this US 100. My trade will probably come across the board in the NASDAQ E-mini NASDAQ futures, something like that. It's a pretty good opening range. I actually really like the formation because you've got a big bearish sell-off there, that opening 30 minutes, and then you get the compression, and now you're looking for the break. Break. Keep an eye on that NASDAQ. Would love to sell it. U.S. dollar, Swiss franc. This is a trade idea that we put out last week. This one's sort of a come to papa type of a thing. I love the rally today. We're up about, 0.36%, which isn't very much, but we're still in a great position to sell this thing, especially if we get that rally up around 89 and a quarter. We're at 88.40 right now, so we're about 80 ticks off. We could get that. And this is a textbook L formation. I love this trade. I absolutely love this trade. Bang, bang. That's an L. That means we're still bearish. And right in there, we've got a moving average, a Bollinger midpoint, and a 38% retracement. That's going to be a pretty good sell right up there, right up around, 89. 89 and a quarter is sort of the line in the sand. I believe I put 89.09. I want to be let's see what we got there. 89.09. I want to be very aggressive right there. If, in fact, we do get this bump right up there, right around it. Let's see, 88.91 is our Bollinger midpoint. 89.01. Yeah. You could probably sell 89s and be even more aggressive and get away with it. That's pretty good stuff right there. I'm definitely excited about that Swissy trade. But I have to tell you right now, I mean, you're buying gold. You probably need to be buying gold. You probably need to be selling the NASDAQ. Don't get carried away with the tariff stuff. Don't get carried away with that. That's what we call a passing fancy. Trump may or may not put the tariffs down. What they're doing right now is they're negotiating. But the escalation in the Russia-Ukraine situation is not good. It's not good, and we definitely can see it in our risk index. Our VIX is up 10% today, and that can happen every single day. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here for a while. That's the week ahead. We didn't really cover much on the economic calendar because there really isn't much there to cover. I think it's all about recession. Tariffs are going to be the big news this week, no question about it. And if, in fact, you're interested in being an economist, step back and study what the tariffs do, and you can come to your own conclusions. To me, you will see probably a short-term bump in some things, but it's not going to be half as bad as most people think. It just won't be because it's a negotiation tactic. Trump will put them on, and then he'll roll them back. He'll put them on, and then he'll roll them back. What that does do, though, for us active traders is it does bring a level of uncertainty that we just haven't seen. I mean, the last administration, Biden showed up and slept all day. He didn't do anything. Showed up and gave a few speeches and banged on the table. But these people in Washington now, they're doing a lot of things, and they're doing it all the time. We're talking about acquisitions of Greenland. And at first I thought that the Canadian thing, being the 51st state, I thought that was a bluff. I don't think that's a bluff. I think they're trying to figure out different ways to get some sort of trade, at least a trade alliance going. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. So, all right, guys, that's a wrap. That's the week ahead. I hope you enjoyed this live stream today. Sort of an interesting day as far as as far as, sort of safe conduct, we see a big rally in crude oil. I didn't even cover crude oil. Crude oil and natural gas, the energies are both up big, and it's all because of war concerns. I mean, this doesn't look good on the war front. It really doesn't. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Have a fantastic trading session. If you need anything, cruise by the How to Trade trading room. Ask me any question you would like. I'm going to try to get this restream going so I can get the live chat going on the YouTube channels, but it has not seemed to work. So I'm going to have to contact the people over at Restream and see if we can fix it. All right, everybody, have a great session. Trade the action well, and we'll talk soon. See you.